Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start my presentation, let me to introduce about myself. My name is Alvan Mutakin. Now I want to explain about our research paper with the title is Estimation of Peak Runoff Impact from Land Use Change Using Remote Sensing and GIS in Keduang Sub-Watershed. This research based on several reasons. Land use change and climate change have a dominant influence on watershed hydrology and can be associated with natural or human activities, but mostly due to human activity. Land use in a watershed that ignores land capability and conservation principle will cause the watershed to be damaged or a critical condition. In Indonesia, this phenomenon almost occurs, especially in the upstream and downstream area on watershed. Currently, many watersheds in Indonesia are in a critical condition due to land use change, like in the Keduang Sub watershed in Wonogiri. Due to climate change, rainfall may can increase or decrease, and increase in rainfall maybe can cause flooding, and a decrease in rainfall can cause drought. One of the aspects of watershed hydrology related to land use change and climate change is runoff. Land use change from non-polluted area to polluted area or vegetated area to non-vegetated area will be increase the runoff. Now, the remote sensing and GIS combined with the rational method is the best technique to estimate the peak runoff, because the rational method is a practice and easy to apply. And this method is suitable for tropical condition in Indonesia. The remote sensing have several advantages. There are a speed of providing information, efficiency in time, effort, and cost when we compare to a direct field surveys. So the purpose of this study was to analyze land use change and their impact on the peak runoff in the Keduang Sub watershed in 2009 to 2020. Next, material and method. Figure on the left, this is the study area in Keduang Sub watershed. In our research, we use Landsat 8 and Landsat 7 to determine the land use in Keduang Sub watershed, and then daily rainfall from FAPS rain gigs. You can see that location on the figure. This data collected from Balai Litbang Teknologi Pengolahan Das, BPWBS. This is Balai Besar Wilayah Sungai Bengawan Solo and Badan Meteorologi, Klimatologi, dan Geofisika (BMKG). To classify the land use from Landsat, we are using maximum likelihood classification in ArcGIS, then class assessment by comparing with field survey and high resolution satellite. Peak runoff estimate using a rational method. Next, this is results and discussion. The first, I want to explain about land use change in Keduang Sub watershed from 2009 to 2020. You can see that on the left is a figure of land use map on 2009, and then on the right is a land use map in 2020. There are land use tab delineated from Landsat. There are cloud and cloud shadow, water body, built area, forest, salt, wet paddy field, dry paddy field, dry land, and mixed garden. You can see that In 2009 and 2020, the dominant land use type is dryland and a mixed garden. After we finish classified land use from Landsat, we are going to accuracy assessment. The accuracy assessment is to determine that land use map can be used for further analysis. Accuracy assessment with 67 points, and based on USGS, the land use map result of classification can be used for further analysis if overall accuracy above 85%. The result of accuracy assessment land use map on 2009 have the overall accuracy 85.07% and 2020 have overall accuracy 91.04%. So based on the land USGS statement, this result of classification can be used for further analysis. This is the land using in Keduang subwatershed. You can see that the orange color on the left, there are mixed garden, wet paddy field, forest, there are decrease. Mixed garden 2.8%, wet paddy field is 0.9%, and forest 6%. And then on the right, with the green color, dry land, dry paddy field, sharp and peat area increase. Dry land increase 3.8%, dry paddy field 1.3%, sharp 5%, and peat area 0.6%. Increase in field area, decrease agriculture and deforestation can be indicate increasing population. Increasing population, so the need for food also increase. In this case, increasing the dry land maybe can indicate to increasing the food production. The utilization of dry land make it possible to increase food production. And the second, I want to explain about estimation peak runoff. The first step is calculation runoff coefficient. You can see that the C value with one asterisk, this is according to Hastono et al. In 2012. Red color, sharp, dry paddy field, and dry land. And this is a land use type that contribute to increasing the runoff coefficient from 2009 to 2020. And the green color, the mixed garden, and this is a land use type that contribute to decreasing the runoff coefficient. The result of analysis runoff coefficient in 2009, runoff coefficient is 0.22 and in 2020 is 0.24. The second step is calculation of rainfall intensity. This is based on 5 rain gauge station to determine the rainfall in area Keduang subwatershed. We use the Thyssen polygons. The result of analysis show that rainfall intensity in 2009 is 14.47, and then in 2020 is 13.48 millimeter per hour. The last step is calculation of peak runoff using the rational method. The peak runoff in 2009 is 358.73 meter cubic per second, and then in 2020 is 363.38 meter cubic per second. And this conclusion in our research. The first is based on the land use map. In 2009 and 2020, in the Keduang sub-watershed, there was increase in the polluted area, 0.6%, dry paddy feed, 1.3%, and dryland, 3.8%, while the forests decreased 6%, wet paddy feed is 0.9%, and mixed garden also decreased 2.8%. And the second conclusion, the runoff coefficient in Keduang sub-watershed is in 2009, is 0.22, and in 2020 is 0.24. There is an increase of 0.02 or 2%, and the peak runoff in 2009 is 358.73 meter cubic per second, and in 2020 is 363.38 meter cubic per second. There is an increase of 4.66 meter cubic per second. And then my acknowledgement, I want to say a big thank you to the National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN, who provided funding for this research in the 2019 ScienTech Scholarship Program. Thank you for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.